What is up, YouTube? So, today is a training day. We're gonna go train push, but the main topic of this video is we're gonna be talking about how you can maximize your pump and always get a pump on prep. And when you're getting shredded, how do you stay pumped in the gym? And I'll be talking about this through the video about kind of my approaches to that, because I actually do believe, and so far through my prep has really kind of proven that this is correct for me so far, is you don't really have to lose a pump, even when you're flat, as long as you manage things the right way, okay? So I'm gonna show you a few things in here now about things that I implement in my day in the morning to help with setting me up well for my session in terms of getting a pump in the gym. But yeah, we're about to make my intra drink. So I figured that would be a good start because it's kind of related to getting a good pump, for sure. It's hydration, but also kind of what you're putting in your drink. So obviously just the first and foremost obvious thing if you want to get a good pump is stay hydrated. I drink about 7 litres a day when I train, and I drink about 3.5 before I train at literally like 11:30, 12 o'clock. So yeah, I'm hydrating a lot. I drink a lot of fluid and it makes a big difference. So when I'm making this, I put 2 ingredients in this, which are very, very good. So the first thing is the essential, the absolute staple, which is, if I can find it, yep, here it is. It's cyclic dextrin. So I really would suggest getting this. This is Carb-X. This is the best digesting cyclic dextrin carbohydrate I've had. Just super easy to digest because some have other things in it. This is just pure cyclic dextrin, really. So 1 scoop, 25 grams is 25 grams of carb, which is all you really need, I would say, even when you're dieting. You could maybe have a bit more of this in a growing phase if you wanted, as a tool to kind of get more calories in, because it's quite easy, right? Like it's quite an easy way to have more carbs, but it's pricey. Like it would be expensive doing this especially if you train often. But yeah, I just do 25 carb from this. Now, you have options. You could do maltodextrin or cyclic dextrin. However, maltodextrin releases a lot quicker. So for the pace of your session, it's probably too fast, and then you might dip again in the session, especially if you're like me and I like the taste of my intra and I'm thirsty and I'm drinking earlier on when I'm training. But if you want to time it really well, you could just put it in halfway through the session with maltodextrin. But this is a steadier release, but still a fast release. It's perfect. So 25 carb from that, and then I have EAAs, which EAAs do nothing for a pump, but these are hydro EAAs. So there are things in this like sodium. There's some other things in here like, where is it? Aquamin, cocoa minerals, what else? Yeah, it's mainly those things, but essentially it's just making sure I'm doubling down on it right now because it makes a difference. Like, it really does make a difference. Obviously the main benefit of this is the EAAs. So EAAs is good to basically maintain a positive protein balance. What I mean by that is when you're training, if you've got lots of protein breakdown and you're in a deficit, having something that creates protein synthesis in the session itself could potentially help with retention. Now, is it the be all and end all? I don't know if it's really needed. Is it? It's a small percent, I would say. The main thing is your daily protein intake. But if you're training for long periods of time, like 3 hours, then 100% this is a smart thing to add in. So yeah, this is gonna help keep me like fuller for longer in theory as a trainer, right? Especially this, okay? The Carb-X. So that's like the main thing that you would want to think about in terms of intra. You don't need to be, I see people in the gym like eating sweets or like bananas. Don't do that. You're just, you're having to break that down. Like whilst you're training, it's not gonna feel good. You're gonna get a stitch, you're not gonna feel good in the gym. This is your best option. Like to having something that easily digests. Cyclic dextrin, 100%. It's probably honestly like that and creatine, probably the 2 biggest things I would put in your diet. If you're in a growing phase, this is less important. In a deficit, it's 100% essential, all right? And then the other thing is sodium intake. So you need to make sure you have your electrolytes ticked off. What does that mean? Consistent sodium intake and definitely like a 50% of your sodium going in pre-workout. And then you need to have about half your sodium intake from low salt, I like to do, because it brings potassium. So this is 66% less sodium than normal salt, right? This is table salt, which is not the best, but I ran out of pink Himalayan salt for this video. This has potassium in. So you mix this in with your meal. Like for example, my pre-workout meal was oats, slow digesting carbohydrate. It's gonna keep me full for longer when I train. That's gonna help with the pump, obviously keeping glycogen stored. Some fats in that meal slow the digestion down, will help as well. But then, yeah, adding potassium and sodium in that meal as well is absolutely key, okay? So yeah, that is what I would recommend, all right? The other thing I'm gonna put in now is we're gonna make my pre-workout. So I have this new pump product. So we'll see, I'll give you a review in the sessions today. So when I'm training push, I'll tell you what I think of this. This has nitrox pump blend, which is L-citrulline, glycerol, L-norvaline. Obviously there's sodium in here as well. I think this is going to be pretty good for a pump, to be honest. There's a lot of citrulline in here. Yeah, 10 grams. Perfect. Having a good pump product when you're dieting is essential. Way more important, I would say, than caffeine, because if you get a pump, you can feel the muscle contract. You can be more accurate. So yeah, definitely would recommend some sort of pump product. That is what we're going to try today. Today I'll let you know the taste in the car, and I'll give you my review in the gym. But yeah, we're going to mix this with defib. It's going to be a nice setup for sure. So we've got the defib here. This is, what flavour is this? This is American cream soda. This is, I don't even know what I order. Strawberry bubblegum. Yeah, let's do it. So another thing is when you make your pre-workout, you know, obviously just to prompt more hydration, make sure you have a good amount of water with your pre-workout. Don't dry scoop it, because more water, you're going to be more hydrated. So yeah, I definitely would recommend having a good amount of water. The water right now is up to here, all right? So we're going to do, 1 scoop is 22 grams. When there's a big scoop, I know I'm getting a lot of within that scoop, so it's quite good that it's a big scoop. It does smell like strawberry bubblegum. I always have to be very careful I don't make a mess, because you pull the scoop out and it just goes everywhere. Right, that's 22 grams. And then we're going to do 10 grams of defib, so 200 milligrams of caffeine. Nothing too crazy. I'm trying to minimize my caffeine, just because I find my sleep is just better if I just have a little bit less. So just give myself what I need. I have no doubts this will taper up later into prep when I really need to kind of manage my energy levels a little bit more. But yeah, so I'm gonna mix that. And then we're gonna head to the gym. In for push, it's gonna be a good session. I'll talk a bit in the car. I'll do my taste test in the car. I've got strawberry bubblegum and cream soda. I like mixing these. I find it tastes nicer when you mix the flavors, for sure. You can get like a more, I don't know. When you're leaner, you crave a bit more flavor. So yeah. But anyway, next clip you'll see is me in the car, heading to the gym. Let's do it. Right, heading to the gym. So we're in for push. Now, I believe the last video I filmed was this session. So I've timed that well. But I know from my experience watching people on YouTube that the main thing I care about is what the person has to say and the information from the video, right? So yeah, it's the same session, but it's going to be a really good session. There's always something different from every session, so I guess it will really show you kind of what is different from the session compared to the last and how things can change over time. That'll be useful for you to see. But the main thing that we're going to do in this video is to talk about kind of how I manage getting a good pump in the gym. Because I know that's something that a lot of people are going to care about. There's nothing worse than you go in the gym and you just can't feel anything when you're contracting. And it's definitely something that will happen when you diet. you know, feeling that pump drop off, but there's no reason to get zero pump. There's no reason. You can manage it appropriately, that you can still get a good pump in the gym. You just have to be smart. So yeah, but we'll get into that. But yeah, so been a big push recently with fat loss. I hit a low of 79.3 yesterday. Bit of a fluctuation in today, 79.9. That usually happens after a rest day. I think it's the food volume being a little bit higher in my meal 5, because when I train, I prioritise my nutrition pre and post. So therefore I have less food in meal 5. But when I rest, I'm prioritising my nutrition getting closer to my training in a way. So I do have a little bit more food in meal 5. That being said, I don't actually have like direct carbs in meal 5 either way, because for me, I don't know why, but I find that having a little bit less carbohydrates, for some reason I don't get as hungry in the night. I almost feel like when you raise your blood sugar and then it dips again, you can get a bit of a hunger spike. So sometimes I find when I get leaner and I have carbs close to bed, yeah, it's good with like getting into bed, I feel tired, but then like sometimes I'll wake up at 4 a.m. and just be hungry again, so which you don't want. You really don't want that to happen. So that's why I do that. But for a lot of people, having some carbs in that meal does make sense, realistically. Yeah, so push today. Going on to the Nautilus shoulder press. Last time I filmed it, 2 weeks ago, we took 5 plates for, can't remember what it was now, maybe it was 7, maybe it was 6 reps maybe even. But yeah, we'll see how it goes, because I'm a lot lighter. And I need to understand, like, leverages are going to play a role in my performance, and that's fine. Like, you can't expect to get pilled and be lifting the same. And I think people that do that, if they are lifting the same, they're probably cheating with their reps. So I know if something drops off a little bit, it's fine. I need to be smart. Worst thing I want to do is start throwing it around and trying to retain something that's just not retainable, because then it's like a compounding effect. Form gets worse, more drop-offs. You're now training in a worse way, more drop-offs. Whereas you have a drop-off, form gets better, retain, you know? Yeah, aim to retain your execution more than retaining the number. That is genuinely the case. As long as you train hard to failure and you can keep doing that, that is the truth. So yeah, you're probably wondering why I'm still wearing these, aren't they, for sleep? Yeah, because my hay fever is so bad. I've been wearing them all day. Not when I train. I'll take it off before I train because I'm inside, but like, you know, when I go outside and get into the car, I just keep them on because it means that I can breathe better, and I find it just helps. Like, if I have clearer breathing, nothing is clogged up. Hay fever in the UK is terrible always, so it's important for me to try and minimise it, because especially when I go to sleep, if it's bad, it messes up with my sleep, which is not what I want. I've been taking all kinds of antihistamines right now, but yeah. But there's an ambulance, better get out of the way. Anyway, so I'm gonna drive for a bit. I've moved apartment, so I've got a 20-minute drive now, which isn't too bad. I quite like a longer commute to the gym, especially on the way to the gym. It's just like getting in the frame of mind for training. It's nice. Yeah, listening to some music. But yeah, let's do a little taste test of this. I'm not gonna drink it all because I'm gonna have this properly in 10 minutes. But yeah, this is a strawberry bubblegum and cream soda defib. The strawberry bubblegum AD, the pump one. That is good. That is really, really good. Wow. I've had the cream soda, but not with the strawberry bubblegum pump. That elevates it massively. Wow. I want to have another sip now. Give it 5 minutes. I like to have my pump pre like literally 10 minutes before I go to the gym. I find like I can break it down pretty quick, so like I feel it hit me pretty quick, to be honest. Yeah, I would recommend based on taste. We'll give my full review later. We'll see how the pump goes. Obviously, I might be a little bit flatter today, but yeah, we'll definitely be able to tell if it's doing something or not. But yeah, in for push. Let's make it a good one. Aim is just to retain. That is it. Like, we go in, we retain, we protect. If you go in going, I want to progress these numbers, you're just, again, going back to that point, you're just going to start throwing it around. Be realistic. And then if you get surprised that like something feels easy and you can take that progression, then you take it, but you don't go in there chasing it, because then you're going to chase it with bad form. Anyway, enough of me rambling. I will see you in the gym. So another day on this Nordic shoulder press. I feel like this is all I film, but I guess out of any machine that I can film all the time, this one's been going really well. That pump product tastes nice, but I think it is very sweet, I'll be honest. So if you like sweet, great, but if you're in the off season and you get quite sick of sweet things, yeah, maybe go for a different flavour. I mean, it is strawberry bubblegum, so there's no surprises there. Done on my mobility, just gonna get warming up now. I want 5 plates to move well today. That's the most important thing. Like, yeah, definitely I always find the work at the front of the section and prep is the biggest indication for me how my training is moving, how I should feel, how I'm feeling, where fatigue's at. Because the front of your session is where you're freshest. And that's where you can really assess the energy. Yeah, and then you've got to think about leverages, obviously. But if you're executing a very stable movement the right way, it should hold. So let's see how this goes, but yeah. Something I've done is I've worn these Nike shoes that are just like these trainers that I've had for ages, and I just found them. I was like, you know what, I'll wear them to the gym, and I'm instantly regretting it because they're so like, there's just such a big gap between this and the floor. It just feels shit. I'm used to wearing Jordans that are flat, and I see people all the time train like Nike TNs or yeah, just like Air Max 95s. I'm like, how are you doing that? Like, how the fuck are you training like legs with like 95s on? Like, there's such a big gap between you and the surface with your foot. It just doesn't feel right. Right now, I just feel like I can't create that accurate foot pressure, and it does make a difference. So I'm definitely going to take these off for now and then put them back on. It just makes a difference. Easy. I'm going into this set with almost like, I know what number I got last week, but I've got zero expectations because I just want the quality to be maximised. So sometimes not chasing a number and just focusing on perfect reps is what you need to do. That's what we're going to do. Quality over numbers. Quality is so important, as I said. Oh fuck. Yep, we're going lighter next week. I was down a rep, but I'm a lot lighter, so it is what it is. You gotta laugh sometimes those regressions off. Don't get in your head. On to the next set. The next set will be better. Oh, that was better. Fucking hell, man. I'm like sliding off the machine. It's just throwing me off. I don't know if it's these slippery shorts. You sat on a, I've got to put this mat on the seat so I don't slide as much. I know it's my feet and my socks, usually I wear shoes. It's fine though. I don't think it would have made any difference realistically. It's just distracting and you feel things slip. Oh. I do feel it a little bit today. Not in a bad way. Just feels like prep a little bit more, which is fine. I like it, it's a good sign. It shows we're getting into condition. I know it's not true, that's how people say like, well, it is true, but it's a bad phrase, like, the worse you feel, the better you look. But it's good to lean into that phrase when you do feel it a little bit more, for sure. Heart's feeling good. Helps that it's warm, that's the point I want to make. When you're dieting, if it's cold, wear layers. Keep yourself warm, wear hoodies, wear joggers, wear lots of layers in the gym. It'll make a difference to the connection because you're warm. If you're cold, all the time people make the error of assessing their physique in terms of flatness versus fullness. Posing outside and then they're cold and they're like, oh, I'm flat. And then they pose inside, they're like, oh, I'm full. I'm like, no, it's just temperature, it's just heat. It makes such a difference to how you feel yourself pose. So I understand that. But yeah, not too bad, not too shabby. Taking these numbers at 79 kilos, I can't really complain. It does make me wonder what we can do when we get to 90 in the future again. That's a long way away. 6 plate shoulder press, we'll do it. Oh. Woo. Went up half a rep on that. I did no warm-ups, so just went straight in. I think it was worth it. Sometimes, like, if you're doing, that was a 15 rep set, why would I need a warm-up? What's the point? The warm-up is the first 3 or 4 reps of the 15 repper. If it's a bigger demanding lift, of course, like, warm up, but when it's such a stable environment like this on a fly, it's just more efficient. Right, onto the press. Let's just do 1 on there, then we go on to the chest press. Oh. That's a half rep down. The trend today is half rep drop off. Inevitably has to happen at some point, so I'm not too fussed, but yeah, I think now is the time to reset a few things in terms of just working through more desirable rep ranges. Still a good set. We'll make the back off set a little bit better. Oh, I'm noticing the knees to just fucking lock in more than usual. When you're more depleted, it's difficult. As you get close to failure, your ability to contract just isn't there. It's just more difficult. That's what I'm noticing now. But those last couple of reps, you've got to really be like, no, don't give in, keep contracting. Because the muscle's got less energy, it doesn't want to contract. You've got to just keep pushing through it. You hit that wall and the ability to fight past that wall is harder. as you get more depleted. And that's where you just got to lock in. Like that rep then, that was tough, but we got it. I was happy. Again, I think that was a half a rep drop off, which is fine. We'll take it. All right, going on to single arm cup lateral raise, 3 sets. I took this down from 4 to 3 recently. In my last video talking about training volume, I spoke about how you can use volume drop-offs as a tool to allow you to preserve performance when you really need to. Lateral raises were retaining throughout the majority of prep, and then I hit a point where I was like, I can't do this anymore. Took a set away, now everything feels amazing again. So you utilize it at the right time. Because you're adapted to a certain level of volume, you don't need to instantly change it. But yeah, so 25 I'm gonna do for like a 12 rep set. Notice the new MBW match, opportunity on the back. Very nice top. I love these. It's like a baggier fit, but it fits really nice. It's a good pump cover. Yeah, they'll be out soon. Oh, fuck. Definitely starting to see a lot more shape come through now. It's nice. Like I said, feel worse, you look better to a degree. But I feel like that is the case right now. I just feel a bit more preppy, but I don't, it's nothing to be honest, but yeah, just maybe a little bit more of that feeling. But then it's getting more exciting, so I'm loving it. It's good. Just gonna go straight into this fly as well. This seat belt is a game changer. I remember running this last prep, this exact machine. It's such a good machine, but when you get lighter, you're trying to like stabilize yourself with your body weight because you're leaning in a bit like this. So without the seat belt, it's so much harder to retain. Now I can just get fully locked in. Oh, fuck. Match that. So based on how this session's going, I can tell that like the biggest thing that's dictating my ability to retain right now is stability. So like, just like machines that are more locked in like this with a seatbelt, no issues, it retains. My presses are a little bit different. Just because right now, inevitably, I'm probably losing ownership a little bit. So yeah, I just need to be mindful of how I can add a bit more element of control, less elasticity, and it should hold. Because if this is holding, and my incline flies holding, yeah, it just shows that my ownership needs to get even better. It's as simple as that. So yeah. Fuck. Oh, we did it. Retain both. On to the next. There's this guy in the gym that comes at the exact same time as me, like the exact same time every time. And he also does all the same exercises that I do. So like every time I want to do something, he's on it. Which like fair enough, like he's doing good exercises and a good setup. But we literally train at the exact same time every day. He's here every day, I'm here. And it's like, it's crazy how in sync we are, I don't understand. But yeah, it's one of those little things in prep, you're like, you want to get in and out, but it is what it is. Oh. Oh, Jesus. That was close. I'm not letting that drop off. We mashed it. I forgot to put these on. Game changer. This here around your wrist helps so much. Oh, but yeah, I only said that in the last set about that guy because we're literally both lying on the floor right now in sync. But we both literally go like this, like in synchronized fucking lateral raises. It's just funny. Like, how often do you see people lie on the floor? No, there's two people doing it at the same time. But yeah, it's good exercise, can't blame him. Oh, oh Jesus Christ. Cuffs undone. Fuck's sake. I just realised I'm doing one side heavier than the other, so we're going to have to just pretend that set didn't happen and go again in a sec. What am I doing? I have 30 on one side and 25 on the other. Oh. Oh, fuck. Right, we're going on this close grip press. So I was doing the dip. I was running the dip, but I decided to change it up to this. The reason being is because the dip is very wide to do bilaterally. I was doing it unilaterally. And it was really nice, but it just takes a lot of time, and I'm putting on like 5, 6 plates, using up my energy. For this, I just put a pin in and I get into it. So when you're in a deficit and you're trying to kind of be as efficient as you can with your energy, an adjustment like that is smart. Like going over to like a plate loading movement where you have to unrack and put plates back on all the time, just as something where you can just put a pin in is a smart option. So yeah, and this doesn't converge too much, so it's perfect. Feels really good. I was tempted, there's this Nautilus flat press, which literally just like collects dust, no one uses it, but it's actually really good for triceps, I think, because it doesn't converge at all. I was tempted to give it a go, but I don't want to change things up too much. especially because I'm traveling this weekend for the Wells for Tom. You know, there's obviously a lot of change in my routine this weekend. I need to protect recovery as much as I can. Introducing a new machine isn't really the smartest, I would say. Not that it's going to be that different, but it is a little bit different. One set is all I do on it, and then we do isolation tricep work. Oh! Oh! Ooh! Oh! Ooh! Nice. Oh, fuck. Oh. Oh. First set retained, that was half a rep down. I think I need to go down to 2 sets on this, to be honest. Because in upper, I literally do 2 sets in a session and just retain. So yeah, we're gonna leave it there. I would do a third set, but I just think it's excessive. You'll notice, this is like I said at the start of the video and about volume. You'll notice when your volume's a problem. That's a perfect example of it. When you like, the first set feels productive, and then the second feels shit. It's like, oh, it's just junk volume. If I did a third now, it would be awful. So taking a step away, keeping all recovery from this session into the next, I'm therefore then going to go into the session and be able to protect 2 sets. Right, we're going on to the goated tricep movement. My favourite. Single arm cuff overhead extension. You want to line this up with like where you start from. So this is quite high. When I go into shoulder extension, it's going to line up perfectly. And they're going to hold on to this for stability. Too many people do like overhead extensions, single arm, and then they just like walk all the way out and they're not holding on to anything. So if you want stability, you should want stability. And if you do, just hold on to here. So yeah, just load up here. Oh! Oh. Oh! Oh. 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 One thing I want to stress is this means nothing if you're not strong at pressing. Like if you're not strong with your upper arm close to your body and just pressing in that position, you're not really going to see big triceps, because find someone with huge triceps that can't press a lot. It doesn't make sense. Your triceps are so important in a press. So if you're throwing all your volume at stuff like this, and you're wondering why you're not getting stronger at this, and then your pressing sucks, maybe you need to reassess. Maybe you need to reduce the volume of this stuff and actually just focus on doing the basics and getting strong at them, because that will cross transfer to this stuff. If you have big triceps, get strong in this position. That's what you need to focus on the most, because if that's not in place, that's like your foundation to bigger triceps. All right, so 17 weeks out, look, well, almost 17 weeks out from the pro debut. I'm gonna do a round. Definitely feeling it a little bit more, like I said, which is part of prep, so we're definitely sharper. maybe a little bit flatter, we'll see. But yeah, so here's a look. Right, so that's a wrap for today's push session, which was overall solid, I would say, considering like where I'm at with body weight and how I'm feeling. It was solid. I think a lot of the time people lose their heads when they lose performance in prep, which inevitably is going to happen at some points, just a little bit. The overall trend so far in this prep has been retention all the way through. So to just see these minor drop-offs as we push into a much leaner position is fine for me. Like, yeah, I was pretty happy with most of the work done. I think that pump pre was really good, to be fair. Considering where I'm at with flatness, I felt like I got a pretty decent pump actually. So I would definitely recommend. It's very, very sweet, the flavour, but it's nice if you're in prep. But maybe go for not strawberry bubblegum if you're in the growing phase. Maybe try something different. But it was good, it was solid. Yeah, I was happy with it, for sure. Definitely more of a pump product than a focus product, which is fine. But yeah, pretty happy with what it was like. So yeah, training was good. I was pretty happy considering. And yeah, just now it's a case of tomorrow morning I'm getting in the pool a little bit earlier than usual because I'm going to the Worlds. So I need to be back home and like on a train at like 3 p.m. No, actually earlier than that. Yeah, like 2 p.m. And therefore I have to train in the morning, which means the recovery will be shortened a tiny bit. It's not going to make much difference. It's not that long. But I just need to make sure I do recover well today and maximise that as much as possible. It's important. It really is important. I want my hinge to go well. It's like probably the biggest thing this week is the hinge, especially with the rate of loss, especially with just how I've been feeling. So important. So big session tomorrow. And yeah, just it's hard when you're coaching, when you're an online coach, your work never stops. So despite the fact I'm travelling, I still have like 15 check-ins to do, which I'll have to do kind of spread out across the weekend, to be honest. Might have to push a few onto Saturday, more than usual, which is fine. But yeah, I'd rather that than just getting back to loads of people by text. It's not ideal. So yeah, it's going to be pretty hectic, but very exciting weekend. Tom looks amazing, so I honestly am going in there with high hopes for him. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he turned pro in the slightest, and I wouldn't be surprised if he was a world champion. Yeah, we're bringing it for sure. I'm sure he's going to be one of the most sharpest conditioned guys up there as well. So I'm excited for that. It's going to be good. I'm excited just to enjoy it. It's just one client competing. I can be very present with it and just have a nice time and be in very nice weather in Spain, which is going to be good. But yeah, I appreciate everyone watching. Hopefully that was useful for all my insights for getting a good pump. I guess we covered everything. What was it? Like hydration, sodium intake, potassium intake, electrolytes, staying warm in the gym. Also doing like higher rep work. I guess is one other thing to just say, like maybe doing higher rep sets first to get some blood in the muscle as much as possible. That's a smart thing to do. Isolations before compounds to really get blood into the muscle before you go into those bigger lifts. And then pump product, essential nutrient timing, maybe a slower digesting carbohydrate so you don't get depleted too quick. and then cyclic dextrin when you're training to keep the fullness in. These things really do help. So yeah, that's how you get a pump when you're shredded. Yeah, appreciate everyone watching, guys. Yeah, the support on YouTube has been amazing recently. We're really picking up the momentum, so we'll keep it coming. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video. See you soon.